What comes the lead still? Here comes Darcy Ward round the outside. This is sensational Speedway.
Speedway motorcycle racing. How good is it? It's been 100 years since the sport as we know it today all began. 100 years. It's truly incredible. And from such humble beginnings, this theatre of thrills has been embraced by dozens of countries around the world. Throughout the decades, this incredible sport has captivated, enthralled, entertained a global audience. The Dusty Heroes, the Gladiators, the Sultans of Slide. It doesn't get any better than Speedway motorcycle racing. The established champions, the emerging stars, the grit and the courage. We know only too well this sport has it all. The bravery, the speed, the jubilation and the heartbreak. It's time to celebrate and reflect on the courageous men and women that have made Speedway the greatest show on earth. It's time to marvel at the skill and daring of many of World Speedway's greatest riders. Tonight we assemble in Brisbane for a once-in-a-lifetime event, the Australian Speedway Centenary, with thanks to Cooper's Brewery, Icon Suspension and Serco. Welcome to North Brisbane Speedway for what promises to be an everlasting memory. Thanks for watching on Fox Sports, wherever you may be around Australia, as we welcome you to North Brisbane Speedway for the Australian Speedway Centenary, proudly presented by Cooper's, Serco and Icon Suspension. Night one of two, and tonight we present the Serco Sidecar Centurions. Rod Colhoun with me. This is an outstanding field of competitors.
Yeah, absolutely is, Dave. A wonderful lineup, Australian champions, world champions, and a wonderful racetrack to boot.
Of course, Mick Headland and Darren Treloar both having won the World Championship previously. Riders from right across Australia and New Zealand in the case of Andrew Buchanan. Working with us in commentary, the legend in the pits is Sam Malenko.
Darren, how's it going so far?
Yeah, it's hot. It's been, we got here pretty early today and we've been in the sun in the Kevlars all day, but it's the same for everyone, and looking forward to it and can't wait to get out there.
That's good. So how did the practice go for you? Did you do any testing or are you set up for it?
Yeah, no, I haven't been here for, I think I come here last year, but it changes every time, and there's a bit of dirt being put on the track. So, yeah, we just went out to get a feel for it and see what we need and come back in and had a talk and did a few changes and see how we go.
So I would say this is mid-season, and you've not been on the track much, have you?
No, I haven't ridden since the Aussie title last year, so this is my first meeting for the season, so, like I said, I'm looking forward to it.
Are you gearing up for the New South Wales title that's coming up in February?
Yeah, we've got a few big meetings, so yeah, looking forward to that, but just one meeting at a time. We'll get through this one and then we'll attack the next one.
So we commence our package tonight by looking back at the earlier rounds of heats. This is heat number one in the first round, and it brought together Stuart Firth, Andrew Buchanan, Mark Plaisted and Jack Summerling. And Stuart Firth, the local Brisbane rider, Rod, who's done more laps around here than most you'd suggest, showed them the way home.
He did, and he's been a very good rider for a long time, as Stewie, and he's very good in the workshop too. Pretty clever engineer.
Indeed, we saw Andrew Buchanan from New Zealand and his passenger Andrew Summerhays coming to grief in the background, but Firth too good in heat race number one. Of course, the riders accrue qualifying points on a 3-2-1-0 basis, so Firth's night starting off perfectly. In Heat 2, Nate Headland, Bailey Ogilvie, Brodie Cohen and Damien Niche It was Nate Headland in what is only his second full season of senior competition, winning and therefore scoring 3 points.
Yeah, he's making very good strides, and this heat was stacked. Heat number 3, really strong field with Wark, Treloar, Rudloff and Tyler Moon, the North Queenslander. Absolute gun.
Yeah, Tyler Moon relinquishing his Queensland title recently to Brodie Cowan, but a fabulous second generation star is Tyler Moon. And in this instance, Treloar and Blake Cox, there they are out in front. They proved too good for their rivals. And as they get across the line there, Tyler Moon, Adam Lovell finished in second in advance of Brandon Wark and Mitchell Firth. Shane Rudloff not scoring. And so we advance to heat number 4. Grant Bond and his passenger, Victor Gavinlock, coming into the event late to replace Dave Bottrell and Darcy Ristrom. That's Grant on the yellow bike, struggling in a bit at the moment in this one. But meantime, we focus back up front, and Mick Headland, the former 2-times world champion, got the job done.
Yeah, very tough man on track. He's Mick Headland from South Australia. Down the pits with Sam.
In very hot conditions, and you Queenslander would be really happy. I'm going to actually stop and walk into the pits of Stuart Filth and Jason Martin, who went out there and won their first race. How did it go for you out there? Did it feel good? And also, you actually went out there and won a 3-time world champion in that race.
Yeah, that feels pretty good. That was the game plan, but it's always better when we pull it off. No, the track was pretty good. It was wet to start off with, but as the race went on, it really sort of hooked up a bit, and we felt really comfortable towards the end. So that is the way to start tonight for sure.
So more heat highlights coming your way now before we see comprehensive coverage of the racing. Excellent crowd in. This is the Serco Sidecar Centurions Trophy, night 1 of the Coopers Australian Speedway Centenary. North Brisbane Speedway, oppressive weather conditions. In Heat 5, we saw Trent Headland, Stuart Firth, Nate Headland, and Shane Rudloff come to the tapes wearing helmet colours of red, blue, white, and yellow, respectively.
Yeah, absolutely. These 1,000cc machines are extremely powerful, as you can imagine. Actually allowed to be bored out to 1,044cc is the maximum, and most of these riders are pushing that limit.
Trent Headland, Stuart Firth and Shane Rudloff, the finishing order in heat number 5. Highlights of heat 6, you can see a problem there. Brodie Cowan and Josh Murray.
Yeah, all that meticulous preparation we know Brodie's famous for hasn't paid off there.
Indeed, so underway in heat race number 6, and Mick Headland, Brenton Kerr, red helmet colour, really got this track worked out early in proceedings. This guy is just incredibly fast and always super consistent.
He is, and I tell you what, the track looks pretty heavy tonight, plenty of dirt. It's going to be interesting, but Headland's an outside runner. Expect him to figure heavily later in the meeting.
Yeah, new surface on the track too, so it was Mick Headland, Brandon Wark and Andrew Buchanan, the point scorers in heat number 6. In heat 7, it's Treloar, Bond, Ogilvy and Plaisted. And Plaisted, the reigning and 3-times national champion, on the outside. He began very quickly in the yellow helmet colour and begins to harass his arch rival Darren Treloar in heat number 7. Treloar's kit beautifully presented as always. Blake Cox on the back. What a passenger, what a talent he is.
He absolutely is. This Treloar, he's just such an impeccable operator. Everything he's got's immaculate, and yeah, one of the best.
Yeah, Treloar got the 3 points. Mark Plaisted got 2, and Bond got 1. In heat 8, it was Jack Summerling, Damien Niche, Tyler Moon, and Byron Gates. Again, a stacked field. And as we got them underway, Summerling was the early leader, but found himself up slightly high on the track. Byron Gates, aggressive there in second, and he's being harassed by Tyler Moon.
Most certainly is, out in the deep stuff, and they're they're on it early, the boys.
Indeed, so Summerling relinquishes the lead there to a fast-charging Tyler Moon and Adam Lovell. Summerling coming back on the inside, one of the better heat races. So the big crowd here at North Brisbane Speedway enjoying this, the mighty Speedway sidecars turning it on. At the completion of 2 rounds, Headland, Kerr, Treloar and Cox equal leader on 6 points. It advanced to Moon, Lovell, Headland, Cottrell and Firth Martin equal on 5. To officially commence our centenary tributes to Australian Speedway legends, we proudly introduce a man who set the nation ablaze during one of the sport's most unforgettable eras. He won his maiden Australian Sidecar Championship in 1976 at Newcastle in the New South Wales Hunter Valley before claiming another 4 national title victories in 1981, 83, 88 and 89. He also finished runner-up on 2 occasions in 1977 and 1980. This West Australian Speedway icon was one of the sport's heavy hitters during a period the sport of Speedway sidecar racing boasted a galaxy of stars. He was inducted into the Australian Speedway Hall of Fame in 2011, along with his former passenger, the late great Jeff Giddis. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to North Brisbane Speedway 5-time Australian champion, Mr. Dennis Nash. Yes, the great Dennis Nash, 5 times former national champion, has jetted in from Perth tonight. A welcome addition, one of the all-time greats to be honoured at this, the Australian Speedway Centenary, and specifically tonight, the Serco Sidecar Centurions. Let's go to the pits. Here is Sam.
Darcy, after all that emotional stuff we just watched of the legends out there, did you have the same feeling as all the other fans here, I imagine, would have had?
Yeah, it's cool to recognise 100 years of Speedway, which was created in Australia. So yeah, it's nice to honour our past champions and our current champions. So yeah, it's nice to see him on the back of the truck and then all the boys turning along tonight.
You know, it's a great crowd. Are you happy with the way everything has gone so far?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of planning goes into it, you know. And even today they're running around, and still now I'm watching my wife run around. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know. I enjoyed riding the bike more than doing this, but yeah, I'm just trying to keep the sport going and obviously do the best I can and yeah, pump it up. And you know, this is my hometown, so I grew up racing at this track, so I'm really honoured to be able to run Speedway here and put on a good show.
Well, last year you said to me when I helped you out in the Aussies titles, I said, Sam, if we do something next year and it will be big, I'd like to bring you back, and you've honored that, and I'm here alongside of you. And I must say I'm excited about everything that's going on. It's a level that's way expectations are high, and you've done great.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great to be working with Tappy and learning some stuff off him about making it bigger and preparation beforehand and stuff. But so he's, you know, we've had our own roles, and obviously the venue is kind of, you know, my role. So yeah, it's been a lot of setting up the last couple of days, and it's been pretty hectic. But we're here, and this keeps things smooth. And you know, tomorrow's obviously a big night as well.
So we continue with the highlights, and this is the commencement of the 3rd round. It's heat race number 9. Just very quickly, Darcy Ward alluding to tomorrow night being a massive event. It certainly is, the Icon 500cc Solo Centurion, and that is an event with 5 world champions, and you'll see it next week on Fox Sports. So here in heat race number 9, Brody Cohen, Josh Murray, after a very indifferent night, race leader and going to take the 3 points haul, which is great news for the reigning Queensland champions. Darren Treloar-Blake Cox 2nd and Stuart Firth, Jason Martin 3rd. Now in heat race number 10, we see Tyler Moon, Nate Headland, Grant Bond and Andrew Buchanan come to the tapes.
Yeah, Buchanan all the way from New Zealand, Dave, as you alluded to earlier, and always a welcome visitor to our shores.
Yeah, had a tough night tonight, has not scored freely. And of course, Andrew Buchanan, he runs Honda power plants. And that's one of the great things about Sidecar Speedway. A lot of different manufacturers are involved, including Suzuki and Yamaha particularly.
Yeah, that's right. The Yamaha cross-plane crankshaft engine is the most popular. It came out in 2011. It was the first model that came out actually in a superbike, but it's been transformed across to sidecar racing. Took a few years to get it right, but now it is the chosen power plant for many of the riders. Tyler
Moon, Adam Lovell getting the job done again in heat number 10, so another 3 points to the North Queensland duo. In heat number 11, Damien Niche, Shane Rudloff, Mark Plaisted and Mick Headland were the starters. And you can see Playstead is back there. He was actually penalised for a start line indiscretion. I'm all for that rule as opposed to throwing a team out of the race.
Yeah, totally agree. Keeps the race, keeps the race very active and gives them a chance. In the heavy dirt like this, you have got the chance to come through from the back. Look at that from Headland.
Yeah, Mick Headland picking up some drive, and you saw the mono. That was incredible. Damien Niche Mitchell Spear out of Adelaide in South Australia, good enough to seize the opportunity in the red helmet colour. Have a look at that for action further back in the pack. It's all going on, Ryder.
She's getting hot in the kitchen early tonight.
Indeed. So Mark Playstead and Ben Pitt move up into second spot. So Headland's race started well, but didn't necessarily end that way. It was Damien Niche, it was Mark Playstead, it was Shane Rudloff, and Headland unfortunately coming up with 0 as a result of an engine problem. Now heat number 12. This is the conclusion of the third round of qualifying heats. Trent Headland, Jack Summerling, Brandon Wark and Bailey Ogilvie, the protagonists.
Yeah, you can see the outside runners using the heavy dirt. It's getting a little bit slicker on the inside, so we're going to have two distinct racing lines, I should say, now as the night falls. Down to the pits with Sam.
So you guys have only been riding shortly together. I've heard that the first time out there in the Queensland title, you got third.
Yeah, I sort of gave it away for a little bit and just thought I'd hang up the boots. And then Jeff come along with a couple of bikes, and April was keen, and I got a phone call from Tappy, and I thought, well, I better get some rides in. We went to Queensland and we did all right. You know, April was an amazing passenger. Jeff, he prepares some amazing bikes, and I'm just having fun. It's great.
2 points in your first ride and then 2 back-to-back wins, and you hanging out the side of that. You didn't have it all so easy out there, did you?
No, it is hard work, but at the end of the day, I love it, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Trent's a phenomenal rider, and I feel safe with him, and I trust him with anything he does on the bike, so yeah, I'll just stick by his side.
So at the start line, what's your tactics? I mean, obviously, I think the passenger plays a big role getting you set up. Do you feed off each other in the start?
Look, there's a few holes out there at the moment, so I'm just trying to pick the straightest hole and yeah, just relax into it. I got a sequence I do, and I don't try to change too many things, and it's working. It's good.
And are you going to stick in this thing for a long time? Are you enjoying this?
Yeah. Sadly, get used to seeing my face because you're going to be seeing it for a long time.
We hope so. April Cottrell, she's a bright star on the Speedway horizon for sure. Now the commencement of the fourth round of qualifying heats as we look at highlights of Heat 13. We do have comprehensive race coverage coming up shortly. But once again, we saw here Tyler Moon and Adam Lovell from North Queensland. They are absolutely on a barnstorming run here tonight.
They are. Tyler Moon, the fitter and turner from North Queensland, a really, really nice guy and one of the guns of the sport.
Yeah, Mick Headland, Brendan Kerr was second on that occasion, and Bailey Ogilvie, Denny Cox third. Now, heat number 14, brought to the tapes, Darren Treloar, Damien Niche, Trent Headland and Andrew Buchanan. You can see the team in the blue helmet colour there, Trent Headland, April Cottrell getting into trouble, but Darren Treloar, he was able to open up a fairly big advantage and was not headed.
No, he wasn't. He's all class, as we know. We've said it many times, but very, very difficult to beat in any heat race.
And so, our highlights package continues. Heat number 15, Byron Gates, Mark Playstead, Brandon Wark and Nate Headland this time. And Mark Playstead, he dropped a couple of points early in the night, but really starting to get going, as we would expect him to, the reigning 3 times Australian champion with the very talented Ben Pitt on the side. They take the 3 points in Heat 15. Byron Gates, Mick O'Loughlin second, 2 points. Nate Headland, Jackson Rayner 1 point in third. In Heat 16, Shane Rudloff, Brodie Cohen, Jack Summerling and Grant Bond come to the starting tapes. Bond has struggled by his lofty standards, but to be fair, he hasn't ridden that much of late. And once they got underway in this particular race, Brodie Cohen again showing what he is capable of at the North Brisbane Speedway with Joss Murray on the side.
Yeah, and Brodie Cohen's machine heavily backed by the great Bernie Coppy, another North Queensland legend.
Magnificent supporter of the sport is Bernie Coppy. So Treloar, Cox, Moon, Lovell joint leader on 11 points. Let's go to Sam Maliko.
A little controversy at the start line right there where you had to go back 15 meters. You came good, but tell us what you saw.
I didn't touch the tape, so I don't know why you get put back, but well, that's you got to follow the rules, I suppose. And yeah, we had our hard work cut out, but managed to pick a few of them off. So hopefully now with a couple of inside gates, we might be able to get up the front.
You feel like you're on the pace now to be able to go out there and push it right to the end?
Yeah, definitely, mate. We got good pace. You know, it's just 3 outside gates in our first 3, and obviously 3 second places. So get the inside gate and try and get some more points and get this A final.
When it comes to legends of Australian Sidecar Speedway, our next special guests are right up there with the very best of all time. Over a long period, the Victorian duo travelled countless kilometres in quest of winning the sport's major races. They amassed 8 victories in the Victorian title to complement their 3 famous wins in the Australian Sidecar Championship between 1987 and 2003. They also combined to finish on the podium a further 6 times in a brilliant career. They won the Sidecar Super Prix Series in 1999 and every major event the sport had to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce 2 men regarded as one of the greatest teams in Sidecar Speedway history, Andrew Cleve and Dave Power. As we welcome you back to North Brisbane Speedway, Andrew Cleve and Dave Power being paraded in front of the crowd. What an incredible combination the Victorians were in a stellar career, the triple national champions. As we welcome you back, now time for comprehensive race coverage. And we pick up the action in Heat 17. There's the field on screen for you, and it is a beauty.
Certainly is. Stewie Firth will fancy his chances in the red helmet colour. As you said, there's a little bit of grip down low and plenty of grip up high, so plenty of room for action.
So, 4 laps of fury, final round of qualifying heats. We're certainly at the business end of proceedings. And over on the inside, Stuart Firth and Jason Martin got a good start. Pretty frenetic first corner there. Grant Bond, Victor Gavinlock. Oh, a little bit of contact as they went onto the back straight the first time and try to sort themselves out. Moving quickly into second, Damien Nish and Mitchell Spearrod.
Yeah, Damien looking very, very sharp, and Stewie Firth not out of the woods yet, because this fellow in second, Damien Nish, is a gun.
Yeah, Nish all the way from Adelaide. He's starting to apply some pressure now to Stuart Firth and to Jason Martin. Firth is up high on the track, maximum traction up there, and he's going to be hard to run down. Nish and Spear, though, you can never write them off. Back in third now, it is Wark and Mitchell Firth. Wark is Stuart Firth's son-in-law, and Mitchell Firth is, of course, Stuart's son.
Exactly, a real family affair, but Stewie doing a good job. You can see him battling a little bit of understeer. That's more to do with the amount of dirt entering the turns. It's spearing the bike straight towards the fence, and he's doing well to turn it and going mightily fast.
Yes, Stuart Firth and Jason Martin, they prepare to take the checkered flag in heat race number 17 off turn number 4, and they take it beautifully. 3 points. Damien Nish, Mitchell Spear, 2 points in second, and 1 point to Brandon Wark and Mitchell Firth. Well, Stuart Firth started brilliantly, and at the back end of the qualifying heats, He is certainly maintaining his mumbo.
He is. He's riding mid to high track. Plenty of dirt out there, as we said earlier. You can see him coming off gate 1, so not where he wanted to be early, but drifts across the inside. Coming out of the exit of this turn, gets the drive down the back straightaway. Had his hands full mid-race, but did the job.
The Serco race recap of the action in heat number 17. And Firth and Martin, they're on a march towards the finals. The top 2 qualifiers at the completion of the 20 heats go straight to the grand final. And then the riders seeded 3 through to 10 contest 2 semi-finals where the winners only will go through and join the top 2. Now, heat number 18, field on screen. Rudloff and Morris on the inside in the red helmet colour. Nice close-up shot of them there. Here we go, the New Zealander Buchanan beside them. Away we go, and Rudloff Morris got away okay. So too did Buchanan and the Victorian Andrew Summerhays. And look at this action down the back straight. The first time you could almost throw a blanket over the top of them. And racing to the lead now is Bailey Ogilvie and Denny Cox.
Oh, look at this up the inside. I'll tell you, this Bailey Ogilvie, isn't he a goer? The youngster flying.
Yeah, the interesting thing is here, his passenger Denny Cox was originally named to ride with Andrew Buchanan. But a switch of passengers, and Buchanan decided to put Andrew Summerhays on the bike as a tribute to the late, great Warren Monson. Of course, Summerhays was Warren's long-time passenger, and Andrew felt it was highly appropriate for Summerhays to be involved in this meeting, and who can disagree with that?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I tell you what, this is a really nice ride from Ogilvie and setting himself up well for the semis and final.
Yeah, the kid's got some talent. Denny Cox on the side. They look to be safe in this one. Coming quickly, Byron Gates and Mick O'Loughlin. The Mildura combination, but the checkered flag was too close there. So Ogilvie and Cox 3 points. Byron Gates, Mick O'Loughlin 2. Andrew Buchanan, Andrew Summerhays 1. And tailed off at the back, the Adelaide combo, Shane Rudloff and Scott Morris.
Yeah, and didn't they enjoy that? They loved that. That was a good race. Geez, they did well.
The Serco race recap, Rod. Take us through the first part. It was very busy on the back straight the first time.
It certainly was. Our starters out of the outside did pretty well. Byron Gates and Mick O'Loughlin got off to a good jump, but it was just a gap there showed up, and Ogilvie, not shy at all in going through it, went through it and rode away. Down to the pits with Sam.
Brody, man, you've had a terrible start with mechanical part problems, but you've come good now.
Yeah, mate, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd probably have no luck at all. We've put in the hours and the time in the shed, and unfortunately it was just something silly. The brand new battery, brand new everything. We've rebuilt the whole bike. It's got a new motor, new cooling system, new fuel system, everything's brand new. And in that first heat, we had practice, it was going hard. A regulator actually shit itself as such, so we had no power going through our battery. So when we've gone out for the first heat, I've gone out, sort of got the gate and went to change gears, and it just dropped its bundle. So it's dropped a cell in the battery, so technically you got no power. So that obviously wound me up and got me angry, because I've put in the hours to make sure that sort of stuff doesn't happen. So I went out in the second one, and gate 4, and I had some tough competition on the inside, so I knew that I had to get the gate, and I've never broken the tapes in 20 years, but I did today. So got rid of my virginity to that. Don't want to do that again. And yeah, we've had a couple of wins from then. We beat Darren, and Darren's the quickest around here at the moment, I think. So that's a good win, and another win in the next one. So one more win now, 9 points. Hopefully with the GP format, we'll get a start in one of the Bs, I suppose. We've done it the tough way, but it's not undoable, and it'll be a cool story to tell when I win the next 3.
The state of Western Australia has been a prolific producer of Speedway sidecar talent for several decades, and our next legend is no exception. He burst onto the national scene in the early 1990s and made an immediate impact, claiming 2 national titles and 2 runner-up finishes, and in what was a stellar career, this barnstormer from the West also won 11 state championships across the nation. He's also a 3-time national champion in Nitro Harley drag racing, and has held every track and national speed record in the sport. Tonight, he is joined at North Brisbane Speedway by the person he combined with to win his first Australian Speedway Championship, and she is a history maker in her own right. Would you please welcome Mr. Mark Drew, accompanied by the first woman to win an Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship, Tina Karen. Yes, Mark Drew and Tina Karen. Of course, Tina, as that voice package just suggested, the first woman to ever win the Australian Sidecar Speedway Championship. And Mark Drew, well, one of the greats, and a great character too. Equally talented in Nitro Harley drag racing, and we thank him for making the sojourn to Brisbane all the way from Perth in Western Australia. So, it's been a fabulous night. The Serco Sidecar Centurions, night one of the Coopers Brewing Australian Speedway Centenary. Next week, you'll see the mighty 500cc solos. The penultimate qualifying heat now, Rod, Cohen Murray, Headland Cottrell, Moon Lovell, and Playstead Pitt.
Wow. Could be a final in any world championship. This is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you talk about a stacked field. Of course, Trent Headland in his own right, a former national champion. Playstead and Ben Pitt, closest to camera, as we get set for action in Heat 19. Cohen Murray, the extreme outside away. Playstead Pitt pissing in on the inside. Looking for Cohen. He got good drive out of gate number 4, and he's up threatening. We can also see moving quickly towards the lead Trent Headland and April Cottrell.
Wow, this is on now. Playstead got a great start and he's hanging on, but this is tight stuff. All 4 riders absolutely flying.
Battle for second is a beauty. Headland and Cottrell, they are under siege at the present time from Brodie Cohen and Josh Murray. Terrific sidecar speedway action as they motor back down the main straight here at the North Brisbane Speedway. It is Mark Playstead and Ben Pitt. It might not be all over this yet. Trent Headland and April Cottrell making a real race out of it.
They certainly are, and Cohen needs these points more than most.
Oh, Headland's gone to the infield. Headland and Cottrell out of the race. Not sure what happened there. Mark Playstead and Ben Pitt don't care. They head down the back straight. Now they've been left alone, and they're going to score 3 points in their final qualifying ride.
They are. Tyler Moon will pick up the valuable 2 points, but absolutely brilliant ride from Mark Playstead.
Playstead and Pitt, 3 points. And I think you'll find that'll put them straight through to the grand final. 2 points to Tyler Moon and Adam Lovell. Now, they've scored freely tonight too. I think they are also through, but we'll check that. Brodie Cohen and Josh Murray. And, of course, as we called during the race, Trent Headland, April Cottrell. That race became a disaster for them.
It certainly did. It started quite well for Headland, though. He was right in the mix here with Playstead. But, yeah, it looks like he might have got himself trying to get that high line, but Playstead never looked like making a mistake. Beautiful riding from Mark.
Yeah, the black chrome entry of Mark Playstead. A Stinger frame, Yamaha power plant. This is the final heat. Good to have you with us wherever you're watching on Fox Sports around Australia. You'll see consecutive episodes over the next few weeks of the Coopers Australian Speedway Centenary. And the field here, a beauty. Over on the inside, young Nate Headland and Jackson Rayner, closest to camera. Red helmet colour, Mick Headland, Brenton Kerr. They've been powerful tonight as always. Darren Treloar, Blake Cox out of gate number 3, and quickly away, Nate Headland and Jackson Rayner. Here's Mick Headland on the outside with Brenton Kerr hanging on for dear life. White knuckle action.
Mick, he is something else. Look at this round the outside and not shying away from the challenge here. All 4 riders in very close proximity.
Now this is grandfather v grandson. Mick Headland, the race leader, now has things in control. Nate Headland, his grandson, and you can see contact there. Treloar involved in that. That's a big moment in the context of the race meeting. But Treloar has scored sufficient points. I have no doubt he'll advance to the semi-finals irrespective. But Mick Headland, Brenton Kerr across the line. 1 lap to go at the North Brisbane venue.
Yeah, Darren came out of what you would call the unfavoured gate 3 and just missed the jump. he had to do some desperate manoeuvres, I guess, to try and climb up through the field, and it hasn't paid off on this occasion as our leader rides into the sunset. Mick Headland, unreal.
Yeah, the familiar red bike of the Murray Bridge combination. Mick Headland, Brenton Kerr, 3 points. They are going to be really hard to beat come finals time. 2 points to Nate Headland, Jackson Rayner. I mean, I can't remember a Speedway event in Australia where we've had 3 generations competing.
No, very, very unique. But you see Treloar there in the white. That's the key to this race. Missed the jump badly by his standards, I should say. Looked for that inside run down the back straight. It wasn't there, and it was Mick Headland who got himself very, very much involved in this battle.
Yeah, Mick Headland certainly not afraid to be scraping the boards if that's what's required. It wasn't required. So Darren there, a donut. Most unusual set of circumstances, really. The 11 times Australian champion. And Moonen Lovell and Plaisted and Pitt, as suggested, go through to the grand final. And the other riders, teams on screen, will contest the 2 semi-finals, with the winner only to advance to the final. In any of life's pursuits, no individual can achieve more than attaining the status as greatest of all time. It cannot be argued our final legend for tonight is the very best of all time, the undisputed benchmark in the sport of Speedway sidecar racing. His career commenced a staggering 40 years ago, and his record at the sport's top level will most likely never be equal, let alone surpassed. He's won an unprecedented 42 state championships. He's ridden in 30 Australian championships, winning 11 times. No other competitor in the history of Australian Speedway has won more national titles in any category. His nearest rivals are Gary Rush in sprint cars and Lee Adams in solos, both of whom won 10 Australian titles. It doesn't end there. The man we're paying tribute to tonight also won the 2011 World Championship and is a multiple winner of the FIM Gold Trophy, the FIM Oceania Championship, and the FIM World Cup. This living legend is joined tonight by his passenger of the past 11 years. Together, they have won 3 Australian championships and 13 state titles, as well as dozens of other major events. We proudly present the greatest of all time, Mr. Darren Treloar, and his immensely talented passenger, Blake Cox. Yes, the great Darren Treloar. One does run out of superlatives to describe what he has achieved, and Blake Cox out there with him, which is thoroughly deserving. He's been a massive part of Darren's career in recent years.
He most certainly has, and yeah, Darren will go down in history as the greatest ever.
No question about it. So, semi-final number 1. Look at this. Bailey Ogilvie, Danny Cox, Damien Nish, Mitchell Spear, Stuart Firth, Jason Martin, Darren Treloar, Blake Cox. Winner only to transfer to the grand final. Tyler Moon, Adam Lovell, Mark Playstead, Ben Pitt are already in the final. Underway, sudden death Speedway here. Winner only to go through. Race leader from the outset is Darren Treloar and Blake Cox. And gee, I'm surprised the gap they've been able to open up already, Rod.
Yeah, a little bit of a track drag there between the last round of heats and the final. Dragged some dirt back on the inside, and Darren knew that. Didn't need to go wide, and it's getting busy back in the pack, but it is Treloar all the way.
Damien Nish, Mitchell Spear in second. Oh, contact there. Bailey Ogilvie going up on the inside of Stuart Firth, who was having problems. There's no doubt his bike has succumbed, and that led to contact, Rod.
Absolutely did. That was quite frightening. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Very, very dangerous situation there with a bike stopping mid-track, but Darren Treloar putting on a clinic here in Queensland.
Well, to some extent, the first semi-final, an anti-climax. Treloar and Cox are on the march, and they will find themselves going through to tonight's grand finale of the Serco Sidecar Centurions, night 1 at the Coopers, Australian Speedway Centenary. Treloar and Cox the winners. Damien Nish, Mitchell Spear in second, and Bailey Ogilvie and Denny Cox in third. And bad luck for Stuart Firth, Jason Martin. They were right in this event.
Yeah, Stewie was having a really good night. I don't think there's a surprise with who won that semi. More of a surprise was the gap that he managed to open up over the field. It got busy back in the pack, but Darren saw that grip on the inside, rode what you would call a pretty small track, rode fairly tight for the first 2 laps and just blasted off into the distance.
And here's this incident again. Wow, you can see there that both Ogilvie and Denny Cox looking back simultaneously to see what happened. But in the end, Darren and Blake were too good. So semi-final number 2. So we now have Moon and Lovell, Playstead, Pitt and Treloar and Cox into the final. This is the last chance. Trent Headland, April Cottrell, Brodie Cohen, Josh Murray, Nate Headland, Jackson Rayner, Mick Headland, Brenton Kerr. Gee, Headland and Kerr will be tough to beat off gate number 1.
They will. Geez, I'm a real big fan of this format. This is a really good format. Love it.
Second semi-final, Mick Headland on the inside. Good start. Little bit of contact between a couple of the riders and a lot more contact to follow. And fortuitously, Brodie Cohen and Josh Murray able to escape the mayhem.
Wow, Cohen got airborne there. That was really interesting stuff there. But it's cost Brodie any chance you would think of catching this leader.
The leader, Mick Headland, Brenton Kerr, the Murray Bridge combination. They are looking as though they're heading to the grand finale. Now, Brodie Cohen and Josh Murray. Brodie was looking around a lot there. He's got mechanical problems here. And trying to get down onto the low line. That's going to enable Trent Headland and April Cottrell to skate by on the outside.
Yeah, Brodie running a battery system on his bike, Dave, that actually enables electric starting, so no need to push the bike, etc. However, that has been beset by problems tonight, and yeah, he's just had massive battery problems.
Yeah, so Mick Headland and Brenton Kerr are going to advance to the grand final of the Serco Sidecar Centurions, and you can see the distance between first and second. Got to say, the 2 semi-finals for different reasons, not necessarily living up to expectations. The sudden death format is such, you normally see all hell break loose.
Exactly. Now, when the track has the same surface from inside to out, very difficult to go around the outside because you're going to get hit by a heavy roost and the guys on the inside are catching massive drive. But well done to Mick Headland as we watch the race replay. Great start, tight first turn, and then off he went.
Indeed. And there was some real contact there. Cohen and Murray, and of course they had Trent Headland and April Cottrell stalking them, and they would eventually get through to secure the runner-up spot. So it's Moon, Playstead, Treloar and Headland in the grand final. Let's head down to the pits. Sam Ermolenko.
We're actually now ready to where the real business starts now. The riders have to decide which gate they want to come out of, and starting off right here, we're going to get Tyler Moon coming in here. He's going to tell us. I think I got a pretty good idea what you're going to take.
Yeah, mate, we'll take red, thanks.
Good luck with that one. Get you going here. Good. Now we got Nick's got going. We got Mark Plaston coming in here, and he's already got the blue helmet color on.
Yeah, we'll go blue, mate.
Good luck for you, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
And then we got for the semifinalists that really battled out of that one here. We got Blake coming up here. He's coming. I knew that one. So anyway, I imagine you're probably going to go for the.
Yeah, we'll go to gate 3.
Gate 3, precising. Okay, there you go. And last but not least, here we go. How you been going for you?
You know, we're slowly getting there. We've never been here before, so the track's been a little bit, you know, hard to get hold of, but we're just about there, I think.
What do you think about gate 4?
We'll find out in a minute.
Wish you all the luck. Good luck.
Well, arguably the biggest event in Australian Speedway sidecar racing in 2023-24. The grand final approaches of the Sidecar Centurions, presented by Serco and, of course, Coopers. Brewing at the Australian Speedway Centenary. Headland, Kerr in yellow, Treloar and Cox in white, Playstead and Pitt in blue, and Tyler Moon, Adam Lovell in red. What a field.
I'll tell you what, I would love to have this trophy in my cabinet. Whoever wins this is going to be so proud in years to come. Be unreal.
Absolutely. It's been oppressive conditions, about 36 degrees today, stifling humidity. Who will be the Sidecar Centurions? Away we go. Treloar away okay in the centre, but Tyler Moon and Adam Lovell got the best start on the inside. Where's Treloar? He's up high on the track. And Mark Playstead, he comes through, and actually there was contact between Playstead and Treloar, and now Mick Headland moves up into third.
Yeah, Mick has clipped Darren there and slowed Darren down. Looks like he's out of contention, but it's the youngsters, and Headland's gone as well, but it's the youngsters from Townsville. Absolutely on fire, and as if this wouldn't be the most huge win of their career by a mile.
Absolutely, they are the leader. Look out. Mark Playstead and Ben Pitt, they know how to win the big ones. I remind you, reigning and triple Australian champions have done it all in the sport. Onto the back straight they run. Tyler Moon, Adam Lovell, Mark Playstead, Ben Pitt. Who will it be?
Oh, mate, I tell you what, this is very interesting, but Moon looks like he's opened up about a 15-metre gap, and that might just be enough for the young fellow.
Tyler Moon, it'll be a popular victory if he can do it. He's got a lot of fans, a very humble young man. He and his passenger Adam Lovell exit turn 4, and they are the Serco Sidecar Centurion champions.
Absolutely superb riding from all 4 outfits in that final, and look at the celebrations. You can't blame them. It's got to be life-changing.
Yep, absolutely phenomenal. Gee, Playstead and Pitt, they made a race out of it. Treloar and Cox ended up in third. Headland and Kerr did not complete the distance. But there are your winners. Night 1 of the Coopers Australian Speedway Centenary. A standing ovation. How good is it?
Absolutely brilliant. The fitter and turner at the handlebars and the boilermaker on the side. The 2 young tradesmen. Brilliant.
So there's a recap of the places. Moon and Lovell, Playstead and Pitt, Treloar and Cox, Headland and Kerr. The obligatory celebrations on track.
That's great to see, and the crowd absolutely lapping it up. Gee, he's got a nice start, just enough to get the advantage. Never headed, but certainly a competitive race.
There were 3 lots of contact. There's Playstead coming together with Treloar. Then Headland, he got up on the inside of Treloar, and not long after, Treloar and Headland came together.
Oh, wow. There's plenty of contact going on, and what a night of action we've had here at North Brisbane Speedway. Absolutely turned it on. Big crowd, loving every minute of it.
That was a very, very tough night at the office for everybody.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the quality of the racing, and that's how close we are. There's not much between us, and you know, sometimes it can come down to a gate position. You know, we're all going the same pace, and you know, like I said, there's nothing between us. But I'd just like to thank yourself and Darcy for putting on an awesome event. So proud to be a part of it, and you know, it's good to see a good turnout. You know, it went off really well, and everyone's. There was no incidents, and everyone will have a beer after it and celebrate it, and we'll never forget it.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it was a bloody tough night.
Yeah, for sure, mate. You know, there's obviously, you know, the best field, and you yeah, I hope everyone had a good time. We put on a good show. So, yeah, I just want to thank my team, Gem and the Kids, Black Chrome, Pitty's Floor Sanding, G1, TRE, Pitmans. Big thanks to Shane Rudloff for bringing me bike up. Appreciate that, mate. And Matty and Rob in the pits, appreciate your help, mate. It's pretty hot and everyone's charging hard and there's a lot of work to do, so appreciate it. Thanks to Pitty on the back, mate, doing a great job. And everyone else, thank you very much. Cheers.
Mate, that's got to mean a lot.
Oh, mate, a meeting like this, it's hard to even gather words to describe the feeling at the moment. It's incredible.
Mate, there'll be a lot of family members proud of you.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, we always know our friends, family and whatnot are supporting us 100%. Yeah, I'm just lost for words at the moment.
Yeah, mate, you were wheel perfect, if I can say that. A track that was pretty demanding. Everyone had their share of bad luck and issues, but you got the job done. How cool is that?
Yeah, mate, we come in with the goal, get the gates, get the points, get the final, and see what happens from there. And the plan came together. We managed to get the first pick and got that jump and down that back straight, and from then on it was ours to lose.
Yeah, good point. Who would you like to thank?
Mate, first off, you know, yourself and the Darcy Ward Speedway Promotions Group. Like, without guys like you, we don't get to have the fun that we have. Everyone that comes together and puts in the hard yards, you know, we thank you immensely. You support us to do everything we love, and yeah, cheers.
I thought you might thank some sponsors. I wasn't looking for self-praise, mate.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the club and everything for putting it on. All the Brian Wern, Dave helping us in the pits, Dave Hagel, he was a big help tonight. Without him, we'd be a lot more worse off than we are now. All our friends and family back home watching, the ones that come down here to support us, and yeah, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you very much.
Well, no doubt a very, very happy combination there, and look what we've got to come. Unbelievable.
Yep, episode 2 of our coverage of the Coopers Australian Speedway Centenary. It'll be highlights of the Icon Suspension Solo Centurion, part 1 of 2 for the solos, channel 506 on Fox Sports, and that screens next Monday night, 7:30 p.m, January 29. It is going to be well worth a look, that program, I can assure you. So Tyler Moon and Adam Love, all the champions. Rod, great to work with you.
Been an absolute pleasure, Dave. What a double header here in Brisbane. One of the best weekends of my motorcycling life.
I concur. Been a fabulous night, and we look forward to your company for the continuation of the Australian Speedway Centenary next week.